of the module 5 heat exchangers. Okay, so in this class today we will be solving problems using NTU method. Okay, and to solve the problems on NTU method, we will also need to know how to use the data handbook for that. Okay, finally the outcome of this lecture is, at the end of this class you will be able to solve problems on heat exchanger using NTU method. Okay, that is the outcome. Now before we start problem, let us just recall the important formulas which is required to solve uh, this NTU method, and also we will see what are the formulas we have uh, find out. Okay, so far, so you already know the entire heat exchanger equation is given by Q is equal to UA LMTD. Okay, and this is the equation to find out the heat transfer rate through hot fluid and cold fluid. And suppose if it is condenser and evaporator, we have this formula mh into hfg. Okay, so even for evaporator or boil you can use mc into hfg. And finally the overall heat transfer coefficient, this is the equation we got, right? Is it audible?
Yes, sir, audible.
Okay, okay. Now for NTU method we will see some of the important formulas. Okay. Hmm. Okay, some problem. Yeah. So some of the important formulas for NTU method. So here what we have to do is first calculate CH and CC. Okay, that is capacity rate. That is based on MH and CPH. Point. MH and CPH and MC and CPC. Find out that. Then find out which is a C minimum and C max. That is, if CH is less than CC, you get CH as C minimum and CC as C max. And if CC is less than CH, you get CC as C minimum and CH as C max. Find out that. Then find out capacity ratio, that is C minimum by C max. Okay. After that, find out NTU, that is number of transfer units, which is given by UA by C minimum. U is overall heat transfer coefficient, A is the area. So once you know what is capacity ratio and NTU, you can find out what is the effectiveness using effectiveness NTU relation. Okay. Now this formula is available in the data handbook. This is what we derived in the previous class for parallel and counter flow, but that formula is already available. Instead of formula, you can also refer to the graph, okay, which I will tell you how to use the graph. And finally find the exit temperature, that is TH2 and TC2. So finally NTU method is used whenever we don't know the exit temperature of the hot and cold fluid. Okay, so once you know effectiveness, we can find out the exit temperature using this formula. Okay, using this formula. So two formulas are there. You can use any of these two formula. That depends upon which is C minimum and C max. Okay, suppose CH is C minimum, use the first formula. So CH and C minimum gets cancelled. You can find out temperature. Suppose CC is C minimum, you can use the second formula. And finally find out the heat transfer rate. Okay, heat transfer rate using this formula, CH into TH1 minus TH2 or CC into TC2 minus TC1. Okay, so this is about the important formulas. Now we will go through the data handbook. Okay, so now for the data handbook, okay, is it visible, data handbook?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the page number 152, if you go, we have already seen LMTD formula. Okay, the first two will give you LMTD formula. Third row will give you heat transfer rate in multipass and cross flow, which should be multiplied by correction factor. Okay, now for NTU method we will see here. So for NTU method, Q is given by epsilon into C minimum into T1 minus T1. Okay, where So they have already given NTU means number of transfer unit, that is given by UA by C minimum. Okay, C minimum is smaller of MHCPH and MCCPC. Okay, that is what given here. And all these notations they have given. So therefore, finally you can see here effectiveness formula how to use. So first formula you can use MH into CH. This is nothing but product of, this product is nothing but CH. Okay, you can use this formula, first formula, if MHCH is equal to C minimum. Okay, or you can go with the second formula if MCCC is C minimum. So that is what effectiveness formula. So it is also available. Just you should know how to use it. Okay, yeah. Now the relation between effectiveness and NTU. So for parallel flow, this is what we derived in the previous class, 1 minus e power minus n into 1 plus c divided by 1 plus c. Okay, we have used NTU, they are using n as the notation. For counter flow also we have derived. Other than parallel and counter flow, here we have all the formulas. Okay, what about counter flow when c is equal to 1? Then the formula will be this one, n by n plus 1. Okay, for cross flow, how to use effectiveness NTU relation? Okay, that is given here. Effectiveness NTU relation. Then other formula shell and tube, for all these value it is given. Okay. Similarly, see, suppose sometime we have to find out NTU. Effectiveness is known, capacity ratio is known, then NTU how to find out? Instead of using this formula, okay, here they have given the same formula. This is for NTU relation. So directly you can substitute for effectiveness and C and you will get NTU directly how much. Instead of substituting here and again rearranging this, you can use the formula in this page directly to find out NTU when effectiveness and C is given. Okay, so that is what for these are the formulas used. Now instead of using this formula, which is time consuming, you can directly go for chart. Okay, there is graph available. So just see this graph. It starts from page number 163. Okay, page number 163. Yeah. So the first graph, if you see here, effectiveness for parallel flow. X-axis you have NTU, and this these curves are for C minimum by C max, that is capacity ratio. Therefore, for different values of NTU and different values of capacity ratio, you can directly find effectiveness percentage. So instead of using formula, you can use this chart. Okay, we will solve one problem using both the chart method and formula method. We will compare this. Okay, is it visible, this chart what I am showing?
Yes, sir.
Visible. Okay, so if you have data handbook, please refer to that data handbook also. So effectiveness for counter flow, that is also given. X-axis NTU you have, and these curves are for different value of C minimum by C max. So you can find out effectiveness. Okay. Similarly, shell and tube and cross flow, both fluid mixed and unmixed. Okay, so these are the formula you have. So once you know how to use data handbook, we can solve the problems. So shall we go to the problems now? We will solve that. Okay, now I will go to the problem. Yes. Okay, is it visible? It's not a PPT, it's a PDF file.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So all these problems are from the question paper, the last 3 question paper, and 1 from the textbook. Okay, so we will go through one by one. Yeah. So, okay. So the first problem, let us go through. A refrigerator, this is from June, July 2019, last year question paper. A refrigerator is designed to cool 250 kg per hour of hot fluid of specific heat 3350 joules per kg degree centigrade at 120 degree centigrade using parallel flow arrangement. Okay, so we know parallel flow heat exchanger and flow rate is given. 1000 kg per hour of cooling water is available for cooling purpose at a temperature of 10 degree centigrade. If overall heat transfer coefficient is 1160, okay, overall heat transfer coefficient is 1120, 1160, and surface area of heat exchanger is 0.25. Calculate the outlet temperature of cooling liquid and water, and also effectiveness of heat exchanger and rate of heat transfer. Okay, so this is a 10 marks problem. And how to know if a problem given is NTU method or LMTD method? That is one question generally. Okay, so here what you can see is, see the temperature. If only two temperatures are given, you cannot use LMTD method. So here also only two temperature is given. So let us see what are the data given. See, it's a parallel flow arrangement. Whenever a problem on heat exchanger is given, first find out what are the data related to hot fluid, what are the data related to cold fluid. Okay, so make a column like this. Now hot fluid, both are here water only. Okay, refrigerator is designed to cool 250 kg per hour hot fluid. So they are not given what is the type of fluid, right? So hot fluid mass flow rate is given 250 kg per hour. I will convert into kg per second. So you will get 0.0694 kg per second. Specific heat of hot fluid is given CPH. So it is 3350. It enters at a temperature of 120 degrees centigrade. So TH1 is given. So TH1 is given, MH is given, CPH is given. Now cold fluid, that is cooled by a cold fluid. So cold fluid is water here. Okay, for water, MC is given 1000 kg per hour. I will convert into kg per second. Specific heat of water generally they will not give. You should know that. So what is the value of specific heat of water? How much it will be? Can you tell? Specific heat of water. Hello? Can anyone tell the answer? Specific heat of water. What is the specific heat of water?
4.187. 187 kilojoules per
kilojoules per
second.
4 point,
centigrade.
correct, 4.18 kilojoules per kg degree centigrade. Okay, or 4.2 also you can take. So that water they will not mention generally, so you should know that. So it is 4180 joules per kg degree centigrade, or 4.18 kilojoules. So this you should know. Okay, then they have given inlet temperature of cold water TC1. Inlet temperature is given, and finally overall heat transfer coefficient is given. A is given, surface area. So what you have to find out is outlet temperature of hot water or hot fluid, outlet temperature of cold fluid, effectiveness, heat exchanger. Okay, so for this problem I cannot solve using LMTD method because I don't know both the temperatures. So therefore I should go with the NTU method. So the first step in NTU method is find out what is CH and CC. Okay, I know MH and CPH, MC and CPC. Substitute all the value. CH I will get 232.49. Unit is watt per degree centigrade. CC is 1162.04. Okay. Now out of these two, which is C minimum, CH is C minimum. So I will take CH as C minimum, CC is C max. Therefore capacity ratio I will get C minimum by C max 0.2. Okay, C is equal to 0.2. Now NTU I can find out UA by C minimum. U I already know. A is known. Okay, A is known. Sorry, A is known, and C minimum is 232.9. So NTU I will get 1.25. Okay, so for capacity C 0.2, NTU 1.5, what is effectiveness? Now we know the effectiveness formula, which is given by this one, 1 minus e power minus NTU into 1 plus C divided by 1 plus C. Okay, so I will get effectiveness. If I substitute all the values, I will get effectiveness as 0.65. Okay. See, now same I can find out using the chart also, right? So chart, if I show you, remember capacity ratio is 0.2. Okay, so I will just show you. Okay. So if I show you the graph, okay, for parallel flow, effectiveness for parallel flow, my screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Now, what is the NTU value we got? NTU value we got
Yes, sir.
1.25, capacity ratio 0.2. So NTU value is 1.25. See, this is 1. Okay, 1, 2. This is 1.25 means somewhere here. 1.25 and capacity ratio is 0.2. This is a 0.2 line. So 1.25 and third line 0.2. 0.2 I will get here. So this is 62, 64, 60, 65. Correct? No, 65 percentage.
60.
So therefore, yeah, it is same as the what value we have calculated. Correct? So instead of using formula, you can also use the graph. So both are correct. So 0.65 I got. Now I know effectiveness formula, that is given by, use the first formula, CH into TH1 minus TH2 divided by C minimum into TH1 minus TC1. So here CH and C minimum are equal, so it get cancelled. Therefore, effectiveness already known. Find out exit temperature of hot water, 48.5 degree. Okay. Similarly, use the second formula now. So here second formula, CC value, it's already known, 1162.04. C minimum is CH. This will not cancel. Please remember that. Sometime you will do this mistake. Okay, both you will cancel. Okay. Here CC is not C minimum. CC is C max. So CC, write this value. I know 0.65. TC1 I know. I can find out TC2. Okay. So outlet temperature is 24.3 of cold fluid, and for hot fluid it is 48.5. Now once I know both the temperature, I can find out heat transfer rate. Q is equal to CH into TH1 minus TH2. Okay, so this is the total heat transfer, 16,623.035. So this is how we can use effectiveness method to find out outlet temperature of both the fluid, which is not possible using LMTD method. Okay, so clear this problem. Generally heat exchanger problems are easy. Okay, so please don't leave this. So 10 marks you will get here. Clear? Okay, so effectiveness we got, temperature we got, heat transfer rate we got, right? Okay, so we will go to the next problem. Okay, right? Any doubt? Anyone? Yeah, fine.
No, sir.
Okay, second problem now. A parallel flow heat exchanger. This is also from question paper, June, July. This is January 2019. Okay, a parallel flow heat exchanger uses 1500 kg per hour of cold water, okay, entering at 25 degrees centigrade to cool 600 kg per hour of hot water entering at 70 degrees centigrade. Okay, so one, it's a parallel flow heat exchanger and it is using cold water entering at 25. So cold fluid is this water. This is used to cool 600 kg per hour of hot water. So this is also water. Both hot and cold fluids are water. Okay. Inlet temperatures are known, 25 and 70 of both the fluid. Now exit temperature on the hot side is required to be 50 degree. Okay, that is TH2 is given. And neglecting the effect of fouling, make calculations for area of heat exchanger. So we should find out what is the area of heat exchanger. It may be assumed that individual heat transfer coefficient on both the sides are 1600 watt per meter square Kelvin. So this is not overall heat transfer coefficient. So what is this individual heat transfer coefficient means? Yeah, HI and H naught on both the side. Okay, HI and H naught. Now what is the question they are asking is, you have to find out area of heat exchanger, but using both the method. You have to use LMTD method and also NTU approach. Okay, in the both the method we are supposed to get same answer, right? Okay, now we will just see the data. So what is given? Parallel flow. As soon as the question is known, make two column, hot fluid and cold fluid. Okay, so here I have written hot fluid is water, cold fluid is water. So both are water only. Okay, so both are water. So mass flow rate is known, kg per hour. Be careful about the unit also. Everything should be in SI unit. Okay, if you don't convert here, later you have to convert. 600 kg per hour. Inlet TH1 and TH2 is given 70 and 50. Specific heat is, it is water, so I can take directly 4180 joules per kg degree centigrade. cold fluid MC is given, mass flow rate. TC1 I know, but TC2 I don't know. Specific heat is same as that of the CPH. Okay, so I should find out what is the area of the heat exchanger, and heat transfer coefficient is given using LMTD and NTU method. Okay, now let us find out. First we will go with the LMTD method. So for LMTD method, we know Q is equal to UA LMTD. So I will find out rate of heat transfer because I know all this temperature. So MH, CPH, TH1 minus TH2. Since it is in kg per hour, I should divide by 3600. Specific heat I know, temperature I know. So Q I will get 13933.3. Okay. Then now I can find out TC2. Same Q I substitute, but MC, CPC, TC2 minus TC1. So outlet temperature TC2 I will get 33. Okay. So now I will find out delta LMTD. So LMTD is delta T1 minus delta T2 by ln of delta T1 by delta T2. Okay. This is a parallel flow heat exchanger, right? So for parallel flow heat exchanger, delta T1 is given by TH1 minus TC1. Okay. Now TH1 is 70 because it is given 70. TH1 minus TC1. TC1 it is 25. Okay. Here while substituting also be careful. Okay, I also made a mistake. TC1 and TC2. You have to be very careful. So 70 minus 25 you will get 45. Delta T2 is TH2 minus TC2. That is TH2 is I got here. TH2 is 50 they have given. TC2 I got 33. 50 minus 33. So it is 17. So delta T1 is 45. Delta T2 17. I substitute here. So finally I will get LMTD as 28.77. Okay. So now I know Q, I know LMTD. So I will use this equation. Q is equal to U naught A naught LMTD. Okay. Now this overall heat transfer coefficient I have to find out, right? Because they have given individual heat transfer coefficient. So this formula is available in data handbook, or we also know it is U naught A naught or UIA, anything you can use here. Okay. So 1 by HIAI here. Fouling resistance we have to neglect. So both equations are 0. Thermal resistance of the wall, it is not given. Thermal conductivity is not given. So what we can do is we can neglect the thermal resistance of the wall. Thermal conductivity generally will be high. Okay. And also, so if I neglect all the three terms, what I will get? 1 by HI into A naught by AI. I will make assumption that the wall is thin. So Ri is nearly equal to R naught. So A and A naught, they are nearly equal. So this get cancelled. So finally, overall heat transfer coefficient is 1 by HI plus 1 by H naught. So I know both HI and H naught, it is same. So what I get, overall heat transfer coefficient is 800 watt per meter square degree centigrade. Okay. So I know U, I know LMTD, I know Q. So area what I get is 0.605 meter square. Okay. So any doubt till here, LMTD method? So first we calculated Q, we calculated both the temperature, we find out LMTD, then we calculated overall heat transfer coefficient, then area. Okay. So next is NTU method. So in NTU method, so first I should find out CH, MH into CPH. Okay. So 600 by 3600 into 4180, I will get 696.7. Then I will find CC, MC into CPC, that is 1500. It is in per hour, so divide by 3600, I will get 1741.67. So CH is minimum, CC is maximum. So this I will take C minimum, this as C max. So capacity ratio I will get 0.4. Okay, capacity ratio I will get 0.4. So now here capacity ratio is given, and I want NTU, I want area. So if you want area, you don't know area, so NTU you cannot find out. So therefore what I should do, I should find out now effectiveness. Okay, so use this equation, CH by C minimum, TH1 minus TH2, CH is C minimum, so this gets cancelled. TH1 and TH2 are given, TH1 and TC are known. Effectiveness I will get 0.44. Okay, so now I know effectiveness, I know capacity ratio, I should find out NTU. Okay, so what I have done is I have used same form, this formula. For this formula I have used substituted effectiveness and capacity ratio. So instead of using this formula, I can directly go for NTU. You can use the chart also. For example, chart if I use, how much we get? Let us see. Now here effectiveness is known. What is the effectiveness? 0.44. Capacity ratio 0.4. So effectiveness is 0.44, 44%. So somewhere here, capacity ratio is 0.4. So this line, okay, this line and 44%. Okay, somewhere here. So if I come down, so I will get around 0.64 or 65 something. That is a NTU. Okay. So what I get here? So NTU I got 0.683. Okay, so approximately it is same. So now using this I got NTU. Instead of this, you can also use the formula here directly. NTU relation is known. Okay. NTU relation is yeah, it is here. Okay, so parallel flow directly you can use the first formula. Okay, here capacity ratio and effectiveness is known, so you'll get the same answer. So once I know NTU, then I know NTU is nothing but UA by C minimum. Okay, so therefore I know U, I know C minimum, I know NTU. Finally area I will get 0.5953. Previous method I got NTU area as 0.605. 605, 595, so almost nearly equal. Okay. So have you understood these two problems? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So we have 19 people. Okay, fine. So graph also you understood, no? How to use the graph? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so we'll go to the third problem now. Again, this is from June, July 2018 question paper. Okay. So here, what is given is water enters a counterflow heat exchanger at 15 degrees centigrade. Okay, flowing at a rate of 1300 kg per hour. Okay, it is heated by oil flowing at a rate of 550 kg per hour with an inlet temperature of 94 degrees centigrade for an area of 1 meter square, and overall heat transfer coefficient is given 1075. Find out the total heat transfer and outlet temperature of water and oil. Okay, again they are asking outlet temperature of water and oil. So inlet temperature we don't know. So since we don't know inlet temperature of both the fluid, I should go with the effectiveness NTU method. Okay. See the last three question paper, if you see your 2015 scheme, all the problems were on NTU method. Okay, so both methods are very important. Now let us see what are the data given. See, it is a counter flow heat exchanger. Previous two problem we solved for parallel flow. This is the counter flow. Okay. Water is entering at 15 degrees centigrade with the mass flow rate 1300. Now this water is heated by oil flowing at 550 kg per hour and inlet temperature 94. Okay, so if you see the data here, hot fluid is oil and cold fluid is water. Okay, now hot fluid mass flow rate they have given 550 kg per hour. Specific heat they have given 2000 joules per kg Kelvin. Inlet temperature is given 94. Okay. It is cooled by cold fluid, that is water. Mass flow rate they have given 1600, 300. Temperature is given 15 degrees centigrade. Specific heat is 4180. Okay, joules per kg Kelvin. So you should find out outlet temperature of both the fluid. Area is given, overall heat transfer coefficient is directly given. So find out outlet temperature and also heat transfer rate. Okay. So again same method, find out CH and CC, MH, CPH, MC, CPC, divide by 3600. Please don't forget this. Okay, it is in kg per hour. So you will get 305.56. CC you will get 1509.44. So obviously CH is less than CC. Therefore CH is C minimum, CC is C max. Okay. Now capacity ratio C minimum by C max I got 0.202. NTU I will get UA by C minimum, that is 3.52. Okay. So for counter flow, what is the effectiveness formula? I have to use this 1 minus e power minus NTU It is available in the data handbook. Okay, so here for counter flow effectiveness formula is available, right? So instead of going for formula, if you use this formula method, it time consuming. So I will go with the graphical method. Okay. So for graphical method, okay, graphical method. So it is a counter flow heat exchanger. Okay. So counter flow. Yeah, this is the counter flow heat exchanger. Okay. So counter flow now. What is the NTU we got? NTU we got. NTU is 3.52. Capacity ratio 0.2. Okay. NTU is 3.5. So 3.5 is this line. 3.5. Capacity ratio is 0.2. So that is the second line. Okay. Second line. So it is here. The 0.96 you will get. That is the effectiveness. So if I see here 0.96. Okay, here I got 0.95. So 95 or 96, not a problem. I can use both the answers are correct. Okay, 95. So once I know effectiveness, now I should find out temperature. So use the first formula, CH into this one. Okay, CH and C minimum gets cancelled here. So therefore I will get TH to 14.26. Okay, and here CC, I will use the second formula. So CC is this one, C minimum I will take. So TC2 is 30.35. Okay. So once I know both the temperature, I can find out what is the heat transfer rate, Q. Q is 24.365.35. Okay. So this is the final answer. So TH2, TC2 and heat transfer rate. This is for a counter flow. How we can use NTU method. So clear, counter flow. If any doubt, I can stop. I can repeat if you want. Yeah. So are you hearing or sleeping? I don't know.
No, sir. No doubt.
You will be sleeping here. Okay. So shall I go to the next one? The last problem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is from the textbook, Rajput textbook. This is for a cross flow. Okay, cross flow. Now remember one thing, that is for our counter flow and parallel flow, the heat transfer rate is given by, okay, this equation, the first formula, UA LMTD. Okay, but when you get cross flow or yes, when you shell and tube and cross flow, the heat transfer rate should be based on correction factor. Okay, that is F. So you should not forget to multiply this by F. So therefore, that's why I have taken this problem. Okay. Yeah. So now in this problem, 10.51, 8,000 kg per hour of air at 100 degrees centigrade is cooled by passing it through a single pass cross flow heat exchanger. Okay. So it is a single pass cross flow heat exchanger. 8,000 kg per hour of air at 100 degrees centigrade is cooled. So air is entering at 100 degrees centigrade. It is a hot fluid. Okay. It is cooled by, now they are asking to what temperature is the air cooled if water entering at 15 degrees centigrade flows through the tubes unmixed at the rate of 7,500 kg per hour. Now here air is cooled by water and water is entering at 15 degrees centigrade. So cold fluid is water. Okay, and its mass flow rate is given. They have given overall heat transfer coefficient. Please be careful with the unit. It is kilojoules per hour meter square degree centigrade. So I should convert into watt here. Area is 20 meters square. Specific heat of air is given and Cp of water is 4.2 kilojoules. Treat both the fluid unmixed. Okay. Now if I see the data, hot fluid and cold fluid, air is the hot fluid. For air, mass flow rate is given 8,000 kg per hour. If I divide by 3,600, it will be 2.22 kg per second. Okay. Specific heat is of the air is 1 kilojoules. Temperature is 100 degrees centigrade. Cold fluid, it is Mass flow rate is given 7500 kg per hour. So I will get, if I divide by 3600, 2.08 kg per second. Specific heat is given. Temperature at inlet is given. Okay, I know what is out. I don't know what is outlet temperature. This is what I have to find out. So now the question they are asking is, yes, find out what is the outlet temperature of air. Okay. To what temperature is the air cooled? So I should find out TH2. Okay, not TC2. Yeah, TH2 I have to find out. So you convert this into watt per meter square, divide by 3600, you get 138.9. Okay. Now find out CH 2000, you will get this MH into CPH 2220. CC you will get 8736. Okay, so obviously CH is C minimum, CC is C max. Therefore, capacity ratio you will get C minimum by C max, that is 0.254. Okay, therefore NT you will get UA by C minimum 1.25. Okay, 1.25. So since it is cross flow now, I know capacity ratio, I know NTU. Now what I should find out is effectiveness. Okay, so instead of using formula now, if you use formula now for cross flow, see, this is the cross flow. In cross flow there are two types, both fluid unmixed and both fluid mixed. Okay, now in the question they have given, it is here both the fluids are unmixed. Okay, both the fluids are unmixed, therefore I have to use the second formula. Okay, both fluid unmixed. So if I go for the formula, see, it is a very big formula. Okay, and here we have one more term called small n. N is nothing but n to the power minus 0.12. So if I use the formula, it takes time, so better to go with the graphical method. Okay, even I have done formula also. If you use the formula, you will get same 0.66. Now let us check with the graphical method for cross flow. Okay. So cross flow, both the fluids unmixed. Okay, this is parallel flow, counter flow, shell and tube. Yeah, this is the formula. Okay. Okay, so cross flow, both the fluid unmixed. NTU, what is the NTU value we got? NTU value is 1.25, capacity ratio 0.25. NTU value is 1.25, so 1.25 is somewhere here. Capacity ratio is 0.25, so it is already given. So 1.25 and 0.25. Okay, it is around 66.
68.
Yeah, around 68. Okay, around 68. So yeah, I have taken 66. Okay, so 66 or 68, no problem, anything you can take. So now I know what is the effectiveness. So if I use the first form, here I have written, so TH2 you will get 43.9. If you use the second formula, you will get TC2. So outlet temperature is 43.9, inlet temperature is 29.26. Okay, so I got both the values. Now I should find out heat transfer rate. This is very important. To find out heat transfer rate, I should use this F, UA/LMTD into F. Okay, so here F is correction factor because it is a cross flow. So now I want LMTD. I know all the four temperatures. Okay, so therefore I will find out LMTD now. Delta T1 and delta T2. This is the formula. Delta T1 is similar to that of cross flow, counter flow. TH1 minus TH2, 70.74. Delta T2 is TH2 minus TC1, that is 28.9. Okay, I know these two. So LMTD I will get 46.75. Now to find out correction factor F. Okay, if I go to the graph now, I should go to the graph correction factor. So this is the correction factor for both fluid unmixed. Okay, both fluid unmixed. Now to find out correction factor, I should use P value and I want to know R value. Okay, P is small t2 minus t1 by t1 minus t1. Capital R is capital T1 minus t2 divided by small t2 minus t1. Okay, so I have calculated here. P I will get around 0.168. R I will get 3.93. So this is 0.17 and 3.9. P is 0.17. So P is 0.17. So 0.1, 0.15, 0.2, 0.17 is somewhere here. Okay. R is 3.9. See, this is 4, this is 3. 3.9 is very near to that. So 1.7 and 3.9. So how much I can get? Around 0.95. Okay. This is the correction factor. So therefore, from the graph I got correction factor F as 0.95. Okay. So therefore, Q is equal to F is given, U I know, area is 20 meters square given, LMTD I know. So total heat transfer is 123.38 kilowatt. Okay. So this Q they have not asked, but I did just to show the method. Okay. So this is how to find out Q and also effectiveness for a cross flow heat exchanger. So similarly, you can do problem for shell and tube. Okay, here we have a graph for shell and tube. Yeah, this is shell and tube graph. Okay, effectiveness NTU you can find out. So better to go with the graph instead of using the formula, because in formula you may do some mistake in substitution, but graph it can be avoided. Okay, that is one thing I want to show. Yeah. Yes, any doubt in this? So these are the 4 problems I wanted to solve today. Okay, along with the use of data handbook. Right. So clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.